Welcome to the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's at his ideal weight if he were 10 feet tall, beef loaf. Never holding but always partaking, not hungry but will eat, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's aged and smells like a sharp cheddar, Ruiz.
Thank you, Cornsey, and welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink. If My Sock Summer doesn't know a player or mentions his time on the West Coast, you drink. And if I swear or say, here's the thing, you drink. Beef Loaf, how you doing tonight?
I'm swell, boys. I'm fresh out the cold tub. I did a couple little stints in the cold tub before this. I'm feeling really good. Did 15 minutes straight with just hose water, 15 minutes straight, then popped out, then did another 10. I'm feeling terrific. I know there's a lot of turmoil right now, White Sox Twitter, White Sox Nation. I want to bring you guys some really good news, okay? And it came from a very unlikely source, okay? Our guy, White Sox Sal, was asking in the previous Sunday Soak, what happened to White Sox Twitter's horniness? Let me just tell you, horny White Sox Twitter is back, and it was brought back by the man James Fegan from The Athletic. James Fegan tweeted the other night. He tweeted, I hope Madrigal can finish, and this is after Nick Madrigal's home run. I hope Madrigal can finish the game after the pounding he took in the dugout. And I replied to him, looks like Tom Fornelli stole your phone. And his response to me, and mind you, James Fegan never responds to me, but James Fegan can't not stand me one bit. But he actually responded to this, and he says, I made an innocent tweet about a joyful reception in the dugout, and you horny freaks ruined it. We're back, baby. We're back to being horny White Sox Twitter. I can't believe James Fegan helped us do it.
He can't be out there saying people getting a pounding when he's a ramming man. We know he's a ramming man.
He's a ram man. Yeah.
He's a ram man.
Fornelli responded to him. James is out here throwing out thirst traps, and then he gets upset when someone responds to it. So, I mean, I think everyone knows it's back. Horny Twitter, horny White Sox Twitter, absolutely
100% back.
Welcome back, horny Twitter.
100% back.
My Sock Summer, how you doing, man?
All right. I put on my shades because Loaf was talking a little shiz before it. He said he was going to body me. So I said, you know what?
You've been coming at me
I'm going to put on my loaf. Listen, shut up. The thing is that you came into, and this is going to be my banter, Treasy. Treasy, what's wrong with your brother, man? What's going on with him? Because, and this is why. He gets into a chat with us and he's like, hey, I don't like the way this flows. I don't like this and I don't like that. So we, as 2/3 of this 108 machine, go, hey, here's a different flow. I write out a flow. You write out the same flow, but with like a little bit of difference. And he goes, nah, man, just leave it, man. Just leave it. And it's like, why are you bitching? Why are you bitching? Like, just like save your words, man.
Bro,
save your words. It doesn't even matter.
It's like wants to have the best flow. That's
like we're trying.
I want the set list to be perfect. All right. I know you guys, and I know we're going to be good. We're in a rhythm right now. The three of us doing this podcast, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's going to be good no matter what. But I want this shit to be perfect, man. I want it to line up exactly right. And I think we killed a segment tonight that would have been terrific.
Well, I mean,
okay. So you could say what you will about the segment, but when you tell us you don't like the flow, and then you ask, and we give you the flow. And then you're like, fuck that. I don't like what you guys did.
That's what I did.
You're not trying to make it perfect. You're just trying to give us shit.
Trying to be a bitch.
I can give you guys shit no matter what. I don't need it. Doesn't need to be about that. It's kind of funny. I'm glad people are getting to see this because you the viewer, you the listener would have no idea. The three of us absolutely almost never argue about the business stuff of 108. We are in lockstep completely there. When it comes to content, the only time we argue is about content stuff. Right?
It's just because you're wrong so often, but you're stubborn about it.
You see, I knew that was coming. I knew when you guys didn't want to do the 108 tourney. You're right. We should have never done that. I should have listened to you guys.
That's the thing. That's you doubt yourself. You doubt yourself on something that you shouldn't sometimes. Now, today we just were like, hey, listen. We're in like the thick of like White Sox shit, right? We're like right in the thick. Like we have so much White Sox content. Yeah. We ain't got to do that fucking draft. We can save that draft And hopefully Barstool doesn't do it before we get to
There's
it.
no way they're going to.
Okay, so this is what I was going to bring up, Treasy.
That's the only worry that we have.
Conspiracy. I got plenty of conspiracy theories tonight. Treasy, tell me what you think. My Sock Summer, he started souring on the drafts. He started not wanting to do them when Barstool started doing them because his hero White Sox Dave has been doing drafts. He's worried now he can't do them.
He just, you know what? He doesn't want to do a draft without doing it with Chief. That's what it is. Now that he's in love with Chief,
we're buds now, man.
They're best buds.
It does. You know, it feels empty to him. Beef. Me and you are just, plastic fuck dolls that he can't really care about.
You are now my part-time lovers. How are you doing, Chirizi?
Man, I'm doing good. So,
I'm sorry. You could have sipped on and then said, "Give me a momento."
Yeah, hold on.
Un momento.
Ooh, that's nice.
There we go. Now I'm ready. So I was listening to some hot 90s tracks this morning, and one of which was REM's "Man on the Moon." Right? You guys know this track?
Yeah, I don't know about hot. I don't know about hot.
Yeah, this was not one of the hotter tracks, but it was a track nonetheless while I was listening to the 90s hot tracks.
Okay.
And it's about Andy Kaufman, right? Like, you guys are familiar with Andy Kaufman. And you know what I thought immediately? What would an Andy Kaufman Twitter account be like? Like, because if you guys are not familiar with Andy Kaufman is a comedian. He was on the show Taxi, and he played he was the Kramer of that one, which they called back then the Fonzie. And so he was on that show, but and so most people knew him for that, but he was also a comedian, a stand-up comedian. But one of the things he did was he would do these long term, drawn out bad guy jokes, basically, that he never uncovered. Right. So he had an alter ego named Tony Clifton, who he went out of his way for people to not believe was him. He did all these stunts to make sure that people didn't think he was the one dressing up as Tony Clifton. And Tony Clifton was just a huge asshole. And then he was he would wrestle women. He would do all this shit. He got into a whole thing with Jerry Lawler. There's a whole bit. And he never admitted that any of it was a bit. Right. It was just a joke to him. He thought it was hilarious, but fuck everybody else. They didn't even get to be in on the joke. And so I wonder what a Twitter account would be like from Andy Kaufman, because I assume, Beef, how many people would block Andy Kaufman? Everybody?
Oh, I mean, tons of them. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tons. I see Timothy Maher is in there saying it would be drill, basically the drill account. No, because it would be way more outlandish. Like drill is just doing goofy statements and stuff. And it was one of the early Twitter accounts that caught on. No. This would be way wilder, and this would be aggressive towards certain types of people and anyone who was in on the bit. This would be crazy. And what about all the crazy shit he would do? He'd go to do a comedy set, and then he would just read some fucking book and wouldn't tell a single goddamn joke. He would do all kinds of abstract, weird shit. It's even hard to imagine.
His first SNL appearance, if I remember correctly, was just him singing along, lip syncing along to the Mighty Mouse song. That was it.
That's right. Yes.
I think I initially thought he'd have a total heel account, and then I was it would just be wild. I could see if Andy Kaufman is alive right now, which he may be.
Yeah,
you never know. Possible. He could be QAnon. That would be I would be he's just out there having
fun. He's Fred from 4chan. Yep. Fred from 4chan. I don't know. I think you hit on something, and it is something that I would point out, is that he had his wrestling period where he was a heel, and that was his heel side, because the other stuff wasn't always heel. He was funny, but when he hit the wrestling stride and he would only wrestle women, he wouldn't wrestle men, he would only wrestle women, which was a great bit. That brings me to a Ken W.O. But Ken W.O. isn't as outlandish and then avant-garde. So
he's not and also Ken W.O. is not funny enough. No offense to Ken. I like Ken, but he's not funny enough to carry kind of that part of it, right?
But some of that shit wasn't funny.
And then the fun, I know, but some of it was really funny. He doesn't have the alter ego side that was hilarious. You need to kind of bring all that together.
That's what I'm saying. If we stick with just the wrestling side, that's where I tend to go to. right?
Okay.
Like him or like or NWI Steve with his got him thing where he'd be like, "Oh, Brady sucks," and like during spring training, like these minor trolls, right? Like minor troll jobs, that don't have the long con. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. I don't know if, and I don't know if we'll ever find out if some of these guys are long troll jobs. Like Tony La Russa could be an Andy Kaufman manager. Like you just don't know because you're just like, man, he doesn't really believe. And then you're like, shit, he just said it. Like he's not gonna really go this far. Oh, he did it. And that was just that's just something, I don't know. In the
internet era, I think Andy Kaufman would have like 12 different catfish situations going on at once. You wouldn't know what the fuck was going on. He would have all different types because the ability to kind of hide behind the screen would add a different layer to what he was doing, right? The Tony Clifton thing, he had to be out in public and he had to be, all dressed up. When you could be behind something, there's a lot more shit you can get away with, man. It's just wild how much bigger that stuff can get.
Well, his manager did Tony Clifton too. Like there was times where Tony Clifton and Andy were together just to show that it wasn't Andy, but then it was Andy. You know. But yeah, no, that's good. What was his name? Bob Zamuda, right? Bob Zamuda. Bob Zamuda. Yeah, good shit, Chorizo.
Hey, I do what I can, but it's about that time that I got to ask you, fellas. What are you drinking?
Ooh.
And Beef, I'll go to you first because it looks like you're drinking some delicious wine there.
I am. I'm drinking some Turley's. It's a 2019. Let me get on the camera a little better there. It is a 2019 juvenile. It's a Zinfandel.
Yeah. Right up his keister later.
You can see Gianna Michaels in the reflection now.
That's true. That's awesome.
It's a Zin. It's a young Zin, but I have some more aged Zins, but this one is a cheaper version from Turley. Turley's an excellent winemaker in general. And this one's drinkable kind of right away when you get it. So these are the ones I drink early and then I save some ones for later. So tasting delicious. Turley's my favorite.
If you ever go to Beef Loaf's home, the only thing that is more plentiful than cats is bottles of Turley. Mm-hmm. Like there's 112 cats, 115 bottles of Turley.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct.
My sucks summer. What are you drinking?
I was just drinking some water because I don't want the whiskey to get me again. Folks, whiskey has returned. Now, I have not drank whiskey since that fateful time that we hosted the 108 Fest, and I ended up probably underneath the couch that is right to my left. I don't know how I fit because it's only this big. But I am drinking my Training Wheels whiskey again tonight. I have the Old Smoky, the salty watermelon whiskey, and I was listening to Sox Machine before we went live while I was making my notes for our wonderful show, and I drank 2 drinks I think while I was listening to them, or 1.5.
Oh no!
But this is the saving grace. This is only like 60 proof. It's not like the 100 proof stuff that I was drinking like the night I ended up underneath the couch. So we got that going for me. What I'm not too excited about is the fact that I got the Screwball and then the Knob Creek just in case I run out of the Old Smoky, but we'll see what happens. It's a fun time. You never know what's going to happen tonight. If it gets crazy, I'm assuming my internet connection will cut out anyway, because I think once I'm drunk, the internet is way drunk. So then we'll be fine. So
I am really looking forward to the second ad read tonight.
Hey, it's a little early though. It's pretty early. Chorizo, what are you drinking?
I'm still drinking through all the Sox Golden Ale that I got from our friends over at Goose Island.
Horny.
So these are delicious. They go down very smooth, and I'm going to have as many as are sitting next to me before I pass out, trying to put this up on the internet later.
16.
I mean, it's up on the internet right now, but on the podcast internet, which is a different internet, like the dark web.
Yeah, did you see how quick that came back? I was out for like a second.
I did see how quick it came.
And then I was like, whoa, I was right back. All right.
MSS's sound stays in now, so that's good. He's got major Max Headroom vibes.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
It slows down a little bit, which I enjoy. I actually really like it.
You might just be breakdancing. You don't know.
I have quick moves. I have very quick moves.
He's like a vampire. He moves too fast for me to even
very, very quick moves. I don't know if you guys know, but I do. Let's see. I got one thing open in my browser. I'm going to shut that down. All right.
I was hoping it was this.
You're hoping?
Click.
It would be hilarious. It would be hilarious if you're like, I just got one thing open and then you were just gone. All right, before you go, let's pay some bills.
Did you guys know that in addition to new cars at Mazda of Orland Park, they have a bunch of Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles? Yep, they do. And what's that mean? Mazda certified. I thought you guys would never ask. Only the best maintenance late model vehicles make the Mazda certified pre-owned CPU vehicle cut. To be eligible, they must pass a rigorous 160-point inspection. From major to minor components, each vehicle is scrutinized and tested, so you can feel confident and enjoy every drive in your Mazda with an elevated state of being mile after mile. You'll also get a 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty, a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, and finally, a zero deductible on covered repairs. All the benefits of buying new, but not the price. So if you're looking for a used car or even a new, get your ass down to Mazda of Orland Park and let them show you some of the options. If it was good enough for Chirizi, it's good enough for you. Well, that's all I needed to hear. So give them a follow over at Zoom Nation and check out their worldwide webpage at MazdaofOrlandPark.com. They are a Carfax top-rated dealer and take advantage of that $500 discounts for Sox fans. Fuck the Cubs. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom, baby.
Wow, that was nice. Done. Really good read.
They're also not jagoffs, so I didn't get that in there. I think
it's on the image though. So anyone,
yeah. So I want to make sure everybody knows because I'll be watching the games and they keep putting out these fucking Toyota commercials. All I can think of, Toyota guys, jagoffs. Mazda, not jagoffs.
Absolutely.
I'm loose. I'm a little loose, boys. I got to drink some more water. All right. I don't want to end up under my table.
It's not as long of a show. I love it. I keep going.
Beef, was it Sunday? Me and you were a little loosened up. We were having a good time, and I think you had been talking a little bit ill of Adam Eaton's baseball skills, and then he hits a home run. I'm just grabbing Beef Loaf, yelling in his face, "Mazda crew, Mazda crew."
You have me grabbed by the shirt like this. You're screaming at me. People had to be looking at us like, are these guys going to fight?
And about what? Why are they fighting?
Exactly.
Yelling about a Mazda.
I thought it was Engel that has your car.
They both have. They both
have them.
Anyone named Adam or Chirizi have Mazdas.
Nice. That's fucking dope.
That's amazing.
All right, fellas, you gotta.
Here it is. Here it comes.
Peace and peace, bro.
So let's get this Tony shit out of the way. So everyone has been talking about Tony La Russa ad nauseum. He's saying amazingly stupid shit on a daily basis. We all love Yerman. We all love that home run he hit. All this shit. All right, let's get all that out of here. The thing that is annoying me the most is the motherfuckers that act like Tony La Russa's playing 4D chess. He's 50 steps ahead of everybody. He's so intelligent and has such a grasp for all of these things. And so, he's really ahead of this and, blah, blah, blah. And it's just God, I mean, old curmudgeon sounds more likely. If I'm weighing the two things, old curmudgeon feels right because he said a lot of other stupid shit before. And there was obviously no end game to that. And he's done a lot of stupid shit in his life. I mean, it was recent. I don't think he was oh, I know what I'm going to do tonight. And then no, he's not that intelligent, right? He's not 10 steps ahead of everybody. He's just kind of an old asshole. Right. And so,
yes. Right.
But on the other end of the spectrum, I don't like they're winning in spite of him crowd, right? How many wins or losses do you think managers are worth, right? I mean, do you think the Sox would be undefeated if it were AJ Hinch? AJ Hinch would have them fucking no losses. I mean, they're in first by a good margin. I don't get it. The run differential is 1 million runs. That's not winning in spite of your manager. You might win and also hate your manager, but you're not winning in spite of him. It's not he's fucking Frank Drebin running on the field throwing all the baseballs up in the air. he's doing very little on the field to damage them winning games. Like the Liam Hendriks thing was stupid. We talked about how fucking stupid that was, right? Like there's things that he's done where I'm just like, what are you doing? But like we rag on him for things like, well, you're putting Jake Lamb in the lineup, but the motherfucker, hits a home run the other day, right? Like, so were you mad about that? Like, is that like, did Jake Lamb hit a home run in spite of being put in the lineup?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
So like both of these sides are kind of ridiculous, right? I don't really agree with either side here. Like, I think he seems like an asshole, right? Like, can we all agree on that?
Oh,
like,
yes.
Even if you like Tony La Russa, like he seems like an asshole. Right?
He seems like an asshole.
Like he seems like a guy you wouldn't want to work for, right?
Yeah.
But everyone has great glasses. But like that might not be the worst thing. Right? Like if the players just generally dislike him, but he, is calling the game fine and, in the hours they're out on the field, it's probably okay. Right? Like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not terribly concerned about it. And like everyone's been through this. You've been in a job where you're like, I don't want to work for this guy. He's a jerk. But like you do it because it's your job. And you talk to your buddy at lunch and go like, see what that fucking asshole did today? Timmy does that on Instagram. It's fine. Everyone has a common bond on this team now. They're all uniting with, who's this asshole? I'm not terribly concerned. So like, I get we need to talk about Tony and like all the shit that's going on. But like at the end of the day, I think the team's going to be fine. They're doing very well. Like I'm enjoying how well they're doing instead of worrying about if Tony's 57 steps ahead of everybody with his amazing, beautiful mind brain that can tell what's going to happen 15 days from now. All right, I'll shut up.
I think, but what's funny that when you say that and how you say that, I think that's what some people have to grasp onto when something so outlandish is said. Like you can't be like, oh, he fucking believes that. Like, no, they're like, no, he doesn't believe that. He's setting up something for later down the road. Like you just can't believe in your heart of hearts that the guy said something that fucking stupid to like be okay. Like that's what I think it is. But listen, I haven't heard Los takes other than like the 87 times he's been on Spaces since Tuesday. So I would like to hear his next. Like I would like to hear him, and then I want to kind of talk, too, because it's just a very weird situation. But I want to get your guys' feels first before I like poop all over it.
So you want to go last and get bodied? Okay. All right.
Like you said something there where you're like, oh, how could someone say something that's stupid? They must be thinking of, of something else. Like they got something planned. Go sit on a bus. Sit on a bus for like a few hours and just make conversation with some people on the bus.
Exactly.
People say insanely stupid shit all the time. I'm sure in like an hour and 4 more beers, I will say something that you'll all go like, oh, he must be planning ahead for some great thing that he's going to do. No, I'm probably
not likely. I'll take the under on that. No, I actually, it was funny. So I did do the Spaces with Josh Nelson and Crew and Janice, and a bunch of us did it on Wednesday. So this was, it was Wednesday. So it was after the home run, but it was before the, the beaning. The guy tried to throw behind or whatever. And I thought, okay, well, from one standpoint, this is his identity. Like we all have our own identity in life. We all have things that we stand for, or that people assume we stand for, or that we think we stand for. Maybe we don't have to actually stand for them. But because we have an identity in a certain way, we're expected to act specifically related to certain topics or situations. And Tony's identity is to be that guy, right? Is to come out and be that fucking guy who talks about stupid sportsmanship and stupid, code of conduct, and this is a family, and he's gonna so he's got to be that guy, right? So when we were talking on the Spaces, I thought, maybe this is just like damage control. It's gonna come out of him like that, and he's got that identity, right? Then when they throw at Yerman the next night, I thought, all right, well, that shit's out the window. He's got to come out and then he didn't defend Yerman, and I was talking to Mrs. Beef the next morning, and I'm like, Mrs. Beef, can you believe this man has been managing 40 years and he doesn't have the slightest fucking clue how to talk to the media and not make himself a story. And she said, he's 76 years old. Think of anyone's grandparents and think of them having to navigate language in a modern era and modern culture. They'd have no chance. They would get absolutely destroyed like he's getting absolutely destroyed. So one thing that some people, maybe you think, okay, the managing part of the game and all that stuff, he's got that on lockdown because it's like riding a bike. But the media part of it evolves fast and language evolves fast. And he's got no chance. He's going to get bodied. Anytime something happens and he has to open his big stupid mouth, he's fucked because he just doesn't even know how to communicate it. He could have evaded all that shit so goddamn easily. And he just couldn't manage it. He just doesn't have the intelligence. He just doesn't have the chops to weave his way in and out of that stuff. Or maybe he just doesn't care. I don't know. He's either too dumb or too ignorant to do it. But it was fairly amazing to me just that was the case. And you always have to defend your people publicly, even if you disagree with it. You don't do the inverse in general. You don't go out and body your own people and then whisper behind, no, I got your back, but I'm just gonna talk shit about you in public. It's the reverse. You defend your person and then you chew their fucking ass out in private and say, you fucked up. You didn't do the thing I wanted you to do. He fucking did the opposite, which is like, who does that shit? It was just bizarre top to bottom. And I kind of agree with Treasy. If I were giving Tony a grade strictly on managing the baseball game, it would be right in the C area, like in the meaty part of the curve, right? He's been okay. He's done some dumb shit, like you said. He's done some stuff where I thought he's okay, that's fine.
Not showing off, not falling behind.
Not falling behind, exactly. I always think about it this way. You can nitpick every manager's decisions, and if you went around every single team, what would it look like, right? That's how I think of managers. I think he's probably driving somewhere in the middle of the fairway, like kind of not exceptional. He's not
leaving. Not leaving in the middle of the fairway.
Oh, there's been a lot of weaves, but he's landed in the middle. He's made it, actually. Hasn't hit the curb yet, my suck summer. At least not with the managing part. But with the PR part,
it's fucking easy.
He's burying himself anytime he gets a chance to bury himself.
Beef, the only thing I could think the whole first half was that this is a very long commercial for a Dr. Rick seminar. I thought that's where you're going with it. But you went a different way, so I appreciate it. My suck summer, your rebuttal.
So no, I don't have a rebuttal because first off, I want to make very clear that and that's why I didn't go silent on Twitter, but I didn't want people to think that I was defending him. Like, come out and say something, and then people say, "Oh, well, you're defending him. Why are you defending him?" And all I can hear is like Kobe's burner in my fucking ear, like, "You're sticking up for the people that are blah blah blah." And it's like, no, I'm not. I just don't understand the fucking anger and the vitriol that people have. Is it vitriol? Is that vitriol?
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I'm fucking saying. Fuck you, Sal, because I know you're gonna say something in 3 seconds. So anyway. The thing that is funny to me is that it's like no matter what he says, the people that hate him are gonna hate him. So it doesn't matter if he comes out for them or against them. Like, he should definitely come out for his player. That's something that definitely needs to be done. But even if he did come out for his player, people would say, "Oh, that's just lip service. Tony believes this bullshit. He thinks of the old rules. He's gonna yell at Yerman behind closed doors, and one thing, he's gonna punish him for doing that shit." So, like, he's going to lose in either situation that he's in. Like, literally, I just don't see a win for him.
Disagree. I wouldn't say shit, my sex summer, but I have to say shit because he said some dumb shit. I don't want to say nothing. I don't care about what he has to say, except for when he says a really fucking dumb thing that doesn't make any sense and bodies his own team. You're getting it wrong there. You're getting it wrong. If you want to just circle like a handful of people and say, are there eternally haters and discount their opinion? That's fine. But that's not what this is at all.
I'm not talking about you because you are somewhat of a rational person. Okay. But like when the next day comes out, and I don't think Josh is this way. Okay. But the next morning when Josh is talking about how there's going to be a fucking mutiny in the clubhouse because of comments that Tony made in the fucking press conference, I think that's a little overblown. I think that one thing that is like getting overshadowed, and I have some notes, but the one thing that's getting very overshadowed in this whole aspect is how well the team is actually playing, despite, and like you said it in the beginning, you're rallying around a douchebag. You made a rallying point. You're like, fuck this guy. Here it is. Like, now we're all together. We're all on one team. Now, it's like this has been going on since he was hired, and at every turn, every fucking turn, every time they lose, they fucking pick apart some people that are his biggest critics pick apart anything he does. So like, I get you. I get what you're saying. This is not it, right? He should have gone out there. But the one thing that the one thing that like I don't think is like hitting home or people aren't realizing is that Tony La Russa or another old school player is not on the mound throwing back at Yerman. Okay, it's a fucking another millennial that's carrying on these unwritten rules of baseball. It's not some new kid.
Yeah, but then
there's not some old guy.
That's the problem.
He supported it. That's correct.
That doesn't matter. That matters. It matters for us, but the guy's still doing it, and this is what I keep hearing. I keep hearing this change.
I would say it matters for Yerman as well. If I were Yerman, I would not like that my manager supported the other guy. We've all worked in jobs where if something went wrong and it was like a coin flip situation, you want your boss to have your back, right? You don't want them to say, my idiot employee fucked up this job, right? I mean,
right. Oh, no, 100%. 100%. What I'm saying, I guess maybe I'm getting this all mixed up, and that's possibly the whiskey's getting me. What I'm trying to say is that Duffy's not some old school fucking Nolan Ryan pitcher out there. He's still whipping at a kid. So there's still this fucking rules, these unwritten rules that are being carried on by the younger generation. This isn't old. This isn't over. This isn't done. And I think your blog that you wrote, Loaf, was the MLB needs to start punishing these guys, or else it's going to fucking continue. And like, I don't think this is the case, but I think guys talking to Yerman and saying, hey, listen, this is what could potentially happen, and then it fucking happened the next day, I think was what they were doing. I think Adam Eaton, I don't think Adam Eaton is this fucking jagoff. He might be. Actually, he might be a jagoff. But I don't think he was being a jagoff to Yerman and saying, hey, you fucking don't fucking do that. He's saying, listen, this is what could potentially happen. But when you look at it on Twitter, it's like Adam Eaton fucking hates everybody. He hates fun. He's an asshole. Fuck that dude. And then until he hits a home run, and then everyone's like, fuck yeah, Adam Eaton. All right, he's winning the game for us.
That was me when you were yelling Mazda Crew, Teresa. I was like, this guy hasn't fucking hit in a month.
But it's just like, it's just one of these things. It's just like, you can't, I don't know. I just think that people make the situation and will flip the situation and mold it into what they want it to be versus what it could potentially already be. You know, like I just don't. I think there's just a little bit.
I see your point, but like the shit that La Russa has said,
it's ridiculous,
indefensible. The only defense that people are coming up with is like, you know, he's thinking way ahead. Like,
no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, and I don't want this to be a defense of Tony La Russa. And but I'm not defending him. I'm saying that the situation is what it is. It is it's an old unwritten rule bullshit situation. And until these players, it's the players, it's not the managers, it's not anything. Because I put a little thing up because at the night that Yerman hit that fucking home run, both Frank Thomas and both Ozzie Guillen were like, that's fucking awesome. Keep doing it. And then the next night when he got thrown at, Frank and Ozzie both go, that's going to happen. That's the way it is. You know, like, so, and Ozzie would tell people to fucking throw at people. Like, I mean, this isn't something, and Frank alluded to it in the whole postgame. The postgames this year have been awesome. They're fun because Chuck Garfien gets all confused and those guys just say whatever the fuck they want. So, but it's just like this whole, like, this unwritten rules thing is only going to end when these players decide it ends, and they haven't decided that it's ended yet. So, like, there's a new school, old school going on in baseball right now. We need to move it into the new school if we want everyone to be safe. But right now, you're fucking taking a risk when you run out there and you fucking hit a 3-run homer off, or a 3-0 homer off a position player. I don't think it's a problem, but also I don't know why these guys take it like that. I don't get it. When Lance Lynn, who is seemingly the most macho man I've ever seen play baseball, it's like, who gives a fuck? You put a position player in there. You've obviously given up. So let's fucking tee off on this motherfucker. That's fine, right? So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why fucking Duffy did what he did, other than the fact that he's probably a gigantic douchebag. So, like, we just have a bunch of douchebags being douchebags.
All right.
If I could, Treasy, a little rebuttal here. Not to My Sock Summer's point.
Not a rebuttal, because I'm not defending him.
No, this is just in general. A conspiracy theory, if you will. A different layer to what we've been discussing here. All right. Let me try this on for you guys, because I think we've kind of beaten up the usual points. Is it possible that Tony is just flat out jealous of Yerman Mercedes? Hear me out here. Okay. Think about it.
I mean, I am.
Tony's 76. He's basically a goblin at this point. Yerman's 28. He's 28 years old. He's a 108 thick king. Okay. Yerman got a fucking hamburger named after him, right? Tony ain't got that fucking shit, right? Yerman got a Goose Island beer named after him because the goddamn fan base loves him so much. The fan base can't stand Tony. We're walking on eggshells, hoping he doesn't fuck something up, right? Yerman started his career with 8 straight hits. Tony and his entire MLB playing career only had 35 hits, which is what Yerman got in his first month this season. Okay. And I hate to go down this route, but this is a horny podcast and we kind of have to. Yerman's lady. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. Tony ain't never seen no cakes like that. Okay. Tony was becoming famous in the 80s, and 80s ain't got no posterior. The first Pog was in like 1989 or some shit. Like, yeah, you're exactly right. So he don't even know what this shit's about. I think this is just a manifestation of Tony being jealous of Yerman. And this is like some Mike Ditka shit. You know, when Ditka was jealous of the players getting the spotlight, and he wanted to do all the goddamn commercials. And the White Sox fans love Yerman. And I guarantee this is hurting Tony, man. It's crushing his goddamn soul. What do you guys think?
Beef, this is like when I watch Ancient Aliens. I'm just watching and going like, I want this to be true. Like, I know the big hair guy is probably lying. Like, I got no evidence of any of this shit, but I'm like, it should be true.
It should be true.
This should be true.
Absolutely right.
So 2 of my faves are in the comments going at each other. Not at each other, but they're saying stuff back to one another.
That's good.
And I like it. I like that. Like, Sal said something when I somewhat agree. I do agree with him that fans kind of need to move on because the team has seemingly moved on. Like, they're not broken up about it, and you don't see these guys posting stuff about it or crying about it because they're fucking professionals. And I know we're fans, so we're not supposed to be professional. But then Josh is like, what should the fans do? And it's like, they should. They should just enjoy this
I know what fans should do. I know
what should they do?
This was going to be my last point.
I don't want to tell somebody how to fan.
I don't either. But this is what I'm going to follow. This is the personal axiom I'm going to follow, and you're welcome to follow it with me. I am not letting Tony's silliness steal my joy of watching this fucking team. All right. He is not worth it. His goofy shit is not fucking worth it. And I'm going to do the best I can to block his idiocy out and enjoy this beautiful baseball. I fucking love these guys, man.
You had me
I
for
love
a
watching
moment.
every day.
I almost believed you.
Woke
you said joy.
Here he is.
And I don't think you're a joyous person. You're a horny person. If you would have said, you'll not let this steal my horniness, I would have been like, yep. That's right. That's right. That's why he's wearing spandex shorts to the whole next homestand.
I think
so. Fuck Tony, but don't let him ruin your fun. Is all I'm saying.
Loaf, that's 100% correct. And and the thing is it's not ruining these guys from playing good baseball. And we're watching good baseball. And I don't give a fuck about Tony La Russa, honestly. Right. I give a fuck about more of our fans just getting the fuck along because it's getting to be goddamn ridiculous out there. And it's like something that I've tweeted several times. It's like, listen, we just won 10 out of the last 13 games we played. I don't know when the last time that happened, but I'm sure it wasn't like all that recently. It's not been since I fucking had season tickets. And it's like, let's fucking enjoy this shit. Like, and we're not enjoying it because of some fucking bullshit thing that doesn't even fucking matter. And you know what? When if this team was like in the gutter and was shit, then we could fucking yell all we wanted. You know what? And I'd be right there with a pitchfork and a fucking torch. I'd be right there.
Bullshit.
But it's not.
We're all defending Ricky Renteria.
No, I love Ricky.
And that's one of the funniest things that has come out of this thing is that everyone, to quote our good friend Brett Michaels of Poison, don't know what you. Or wait a minute, no, that was no, who was that?
It's a different '80s band. I don't know.
It's a different '80s band, but it's oh shit.
Where's my brother Wally Money?
Is it Rat? Is it Rat? It's like, don't know what you got. till it's gone, and he's fucking gone. And now he got his fucking older brother who sucks balls. But you know what? You fucking bitch so much you got Ricky kicked out. So I guess maybe the thought process is a bitch a lot, get Tony kicked out, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So they're playing good baseball.
Can I talk about something that I'm actually upset about?
Yes, I would love it.
So the Sox have gone to 60% starting May 24th. 60% people can be in the crowd. Let me read from their email. As we prepare to welcome fans back, we will be adjusting the seating process for season ticket holders. Starting May 24th, we will be placing you in seats for your selected ticket plan as close to your normal seat as possible. Please log in to your account manager to see where you're located for basically the next 2 weeks. So I saw that. I thought to myself, well, what seat would I have? Like the 108 is, like kind of in the corner there.
Yep.
And I have 2 seats in the 108. So I open my account manager, and what do I see but a single seat? I had 1 seat in section 154. Couldn't be farther from my fucking seats, and my seats got cut in half. They divorced me. Like, Hornsey is not coming to the game with me, is what they're telling me. She doesn't want to go to the game with you, is what they're saying, right?
So out.
So look, this is not my account rep's fault, right? Obviously not.
Right.
So I reached out to him. I'm like, hey man, this happened. But what would be great is, obviously if I could get in a 108, I'd love it. But if not, can I, my brother Beef, I didn't say your name. I just said my brother.
Yep.
And Beef.
And I gave him the seats you were in. And I said, can you get me as close to that as possible? And so he's like, hey, I'm working on it. And he's always been good. So I'm like, all right, he's working on it. All right, good. I get an email back, but it's an email to me and Wally Money. Saying I could get you guys together in 110, but it's in like row 29, or I could get you into section 111. And I'm like, does he think Wally's my brother? Or does he think the guy with the same last name as me that I sit next to is my brother? So I was confused.
We all look alike. We all look alike, Treasy.
I responded, and I haven't gotten a response yet. This was only 7 hours ago. And it wasn't 7 hours, probably like 3 or 4 hours ago. I haven't got a response yet, but I looked at my tickets. I'm in section 111 now. So I'm not even, it's closer. I'm not even repping
definitely closer
the outfield corner anymore though. So, but the thing about it, here's the thing. And I'm not mad about, our guy trying to help me out and thinking that just because me and Wally have the same hair now, that we were brothers. Like, that's fine. But what I'm pissed about is the Sox in general on this. Because so you're going to 60% capacity. So you're obviously not spacing, right? You can't, it's impossible.
You can't. Yeah.
It's an impossibility.
Yes.
Because even if you went, everyone's in a separate row, there's still people next to each other. And then you got 10% to fit after everyone in every row, right? Every other row. So that's out the window. So why not just put everybody back in their normal seats? Because you're giving season ticket holders seats. It's not like you're going here's a lottery or something because we can only let so many of you get these tickets.
Right.
We're giving all of you tickets near where you used to sit, but not where you sit. It makes no sense. And the question I'm sitting here going is, well, there's a couple questions. One, because there's an opt-out on this. Oh, you didn't like the seats that you didn't want? Well, then you can opt out and we're going to sell them. Right. And so do they want us to opt out? I want to see the prices on Saturday and see if they're yeah, well, we wanted to jack up the prices. So we wanted you to opt out. Right. That's one scenario. The other scenario is, are they going to sell our seats in the 108? Because that would be some bullshit. Right.
Yeah.
If I look over and I see some motherfuckers in 108 row 13, I'm going to lose my shit. And I'm going to have to go fight them. I would never do that, obviously.
Like I said, if someone touches
you, I would back you up if you did.
I am bottle capping the guy, Treasy. I will bottle cap whoever, or woman. I don't care. No. Whatever. If they lay a hand on you, Treasy, whatever we got to do. It could be a child. We'll do what we got to
do. What a punch in the face that would be. Like if we look like, well, for you 2 sections, for me 3. Yeah. If we look over and there's people in like our normal seats, and like, well, like why? It would blow my mind. I would be furious.
It was what I was dealing with all last weekend. I was looking at people sitting in my fucking seat. I go, I've never even sat there legally. So it's kind of one of those things. And I don't think I'm breaking any like big news here, but section 108 and 109 are the 2 smallest sections in the stadium. So if you're going to fucking try something, you're going to try it in those 2 sections. And I feel like they're probably going to do the vax only again, because that seems to make the most sense. Like they're going to be like, hey, these are the 2 vax only sections. Let's do the 2 small sections in the park, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I think that's potentially why it is, but I don't understand why you can't do that in other sections. Like you're saying there's going to be no spacing because you can't if you're going to have 24,000 in there. It's like, what the fuck? Like I am like,
Tracy, I don't know if you saw it up in the comments, but Jeff Muggs said that Quernsey got the split, and you got to call Jeffrey M. Leving to get your seat back. That's the only way you're going to get it back.
No, it's and I don't. We're not a blog. We're not a group that goes off into and calling these people. I haven't contacted Nick. I don't think maybe one time since 2019. Like I just don't do it. Like it's not my thing. Like he's very solid. He does what we're supposed to do. He sends me my invoice. We go through that. So like I don't really bother him. It's not my thing. But if I was in 157, I think I would have emailed him and said, what the fuck is going on? Why am I not with my compadres in section 110? But
or my wife. And then I have to
hear your wife.
And then I have to
That's
hear
very
from Jeff
odd.
That happened.
That's weird all along. And I
do you think it's time? Do you think it's time for the 3 of us to pull the do you know who I am? Do you know who I am card? Should we do that? We're not a group that likes doing that. We don't like doing that.
I would never do that.
I don't think it's time because I think we do that for something that's important. And I don't think this is important. I think they're still figuring.
That's important. Yeah, it's fucking
seats. I think they're, but so I don't think this is going to be how it is like for the rest of the season. I think they're still figuring stuff out. And what's
weird to me, let me ask you
guys.
If
we are in 110 for the rest of the season, then we need to fucking figure this shit out.
It'll be hilarious because we'll make a big stink about it because everyone will know and people will be taking pictures of us and people will be like, why the White Sox moved the 108 guys out of 108? Like it would be ridiculous and it would be all over social media. It would be surprising if that was a chosen path there. Let me ask you guys this question because we got some feedback from the internet and we saw some stuff and I saw some people tweeting about it. Do we know of anyone who has their exact seats that they bought?
I have not heard about it.
I've not heard of one, which is hilarious to me because you'd think at 60% capacity, you should be able to leave the majority of people in their actual seat and then only displace a handful. And then that handful that you displace, you could give them gift cards or Sox cash or whatever the fuck and say, look, we're sorry. We moved you
doing that shit, motherfucker.
We're going to give you a little kickback here, and do something like that.
I don't get why you have to displace anybody. Like
I'm just saying if you had to. I'm saying if you had to.
The only thing I can think of, Treasy, and it doesn't even make sense now. And because the one thing I would say is like you're still socially distanced, but you're not.
You're not. It's impossible to socially distance
happening.
With 60%.
So there is no other reason for this other than there's just a vax only section and then a vax only there. And they maybe because of HIPAA laws, they can't say to you, hey, are you vaccinated? But that doesn't make any sense anyway, because we could go in and opt out.
Sell the tickets. We could sell the tickets too.
We can do whatever.
We could take our ticket and say, okay, well, we're not vaxxed, so we're going to just sell it. And it's a vaccine ticket. Take a risk.
And the money factor.
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
Josh, did you really get your seats? I want to know if this is true.
He's saying he got his exact seats. Yeah.
You know what?
He's saying in the comments.
Now I'm gonna give do you know who I am to the whole front office.
Do you know who I am?
You're favoring Sox machine over the 108. You motherfuckers.
That's right. Son of a
So Josh,
they don't even like Rick Hahn.
Normally?
We don't either, but don't mention it.
Easy.
We don't dislike him. My Sox never took pictures of him.
I don't like Rick Hahn as a person. Yeah.
I'm sure he's fine.
Christ, Loaf. We're trying to get us fucking canceled today. And Barrington, who's in the chat too.
His seats.
We asked some questions on the Twitter. I'm not searching porn on my phone. And Barrington said that she got moved from left field to right field. So that's really not close to her seats.
That's stupid.
And they were right near your seats. That's what just like they said.
She's doing a glass half full type of attitude, like the MSS is here, and saying that hopefully we'll be back to normal in the next round go around. Because this isn't. They said that, so we're hoping for that. Uncle Red asked if there's going to be any tailgating, which Sockside Pride responded, absolutely fucking not. But he said a lot better and a lot.
MSS said Uncle Red asks, but I thought he said Uncle Red ass. And I
was like, I thought it was a great Twitter account.
No, it's Uncle Red ass.
I know.
Ass. So yeah, there will be no tailgating still, because if you drink a lot in the parking lot, you don't drink a lot in the park. So it's just probably, and plus it's unsafe because it's COVID. And one of the questions is, anything useful in there for non-season ticket holders attempting to get ticks in the homestand? No, but I know they go on sale Saturday at 1:00. Yep. So I saw that.
I'll be on at 1:00 trying to buy in the 108. When I get those seats, you guys, I will give away my 111 seats.
So
not for the whole homestand. That's like many dollars. But
Jose Munoz Jr.,
our guy,
who has his own website. If you go to josemunozjr.com, you can read all about him. I don't know if it's still a 108 thing, but it's funny. He said he got his tickets in 2019. And you could buy 500 level and move down to 100 level. That was a MSS hack from 2013 on. It worked very well. And then now I have to sit in the 108 because it all got shut down. So now after the 60 game schedule, they're not doing it. Now 60 capacity. Do you think you're going to get? There's going to be no probably lower deck access with 500 level tickets. People are fucking checking tickets like a motherfucker right now.
Yeah, it's wild.
Is insane. You are scanning everywhere you go. So it's thick. It's very thick. But hopefully that shit changes maybe. But I also think that the old rule was that if it's over 22,000 people attending, they check tickets. So, and I think you're going to see crowds about in that area. Now, I'm not surprised by any of this, mostly because we've been down this road several times with the White Sox. It seems increasingly lazy, but I don't know if we know the whole story or everything that's going on. But it just seems like people don't really care to work, and they're just like, we'll just put here's there and that and that, as opposed to just like going, oh, you go there and then you go there. And then you go there.
This seems more difficult than just put everyone in their normal seats.
I don't know what it is, man. I have not texted my daughter's godfather, Brooks Boyer, today because I was like, he's got enough shit going on.
I mean, as someone looking if I were looking at this from the outside, exactly what I said earlier is what I would guess if I looked at this, right? They're moving people to seats that are not their seats, hoping they'll opt out, knowing they can sell those tickets for more money, because people are dying to go to games with only 60% capacity because they haven't been able to get in.
Counter to that, if they wanted us to if they wanted to make a money grab, they would have done it with what they've been able to do so far. They did not charge us any more money for our seats, wherever we sat for these first few homestands.
That's true. They didn't even gouge us.
They didn't even do it. That's exactly what I was going to say, Lo. Yeah. Thanks for stepping all over me.
Sorry, baby.
I was going to say, no, I do it to you 100 times a show, so I appreciate it. No, they didn't even charge a premium from opening day, which is like a $75 fucking ticket every year. Right. So if they didn't do that, you're thinking they're going to get it now. I think they're going to get it next year. I think they just haven't shown us anything to like. I'm looking for
an explanation of why they would need to just randomly seat people somewhere when it's more work to just like throw people all over the place and then deal with all that shit instead of just going, you're in your season ticket seats that we already had set up.
Right.
You want me to text? You want me to text Brooks right now
during the show? Just tell him we've been talking about this. We've been bodying you.
Brooks, why are we not It's 9:30. He might be sleeping. I don't want.
Yeah, no. The amount of caffeine that man drinks. No.
Shitload of mellow yellow. So
there's no way he's asleep. Well, I did love though how when I found out where Treasy's original seat was, I was thinking, I don't even think his seat's in the stadium. It's on the Bona Beef race pass. He's like, he'll have a good chance to see juicy beef as he's, or cheesy when he's making it look easy. You were right. That was where your seat was, Treasy. You weren't even in the stadium at that.
No, I had a DJ. That's what.
So we can get in.
One more update before we move on from this. Giveaways are back. So next week we will be having some giveaways. The Change the Game long sleeve T-shirt will be May 24th and 25th with St. Louis, which I think is a Monday Tuesday, right? Is that a Monday Tuesday? The St. Louis?
It's a during
right?
the week. That's correct.
So that's going to be that. And then the Tim Anderson bat flip bobblehead will be given away on May 28th and 29th. So a Friday night and a Saturday day game, they're giving away the bobblehead. White Sox Hawaiian shirt, June 4th through the 5th, 4th and 5th on going against Detroit. That might get some people out to see Detroit get pounded. White Sox tote bag, that'll be the 9th and the 10th versus Toronto. And the retro Southpaw shirt, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's pretty dope. It was created by a local artist, Joey D. It's at Joey D76 on Instagram. June 16th versus Tampa Bay, 10,000. So they're gonna this is something that I was excited for, but then not really, because now all of a sudden I got fucking Uncle Rico up in my fucking text messages going, man, you can get me this shit? You getting this shit? Can we work out the deal? Let's get the deal. Can you do the deal? Let's make the deal happen. Let's make the deal happen. I'm like, whoa, bro, my wife's at work. I haven't even talked to her about these games yet. And Pete's got extra tickets. Wally's got extra tickets. Everybody's got extra tickets. You know who's going to the game? Nobody. Just fucking me. And then they're like, hey, can you get Pat and Chris to come on? Can you get Loaf and Treasy on to come and fucking do this up? I'm like, absolutely not. Are you fucking new? Have you ever seen these guys in line with me? Absolutely not. No, they don't do this shit. But the saving grace is it's 10,000 giveaway. Hopefully when you walk in there Friday night, a little stumbly drunk, we get there about the first now. We don't get there in the third. Potentially, you might get a bat flip bobblehead, and you can sell it to Uncle Rico for about $50 shipped.
You didn't read it correctly. It's there's 10,000 of them, but they're giving them to random people on the red line.
Yes, that's true. Yes. Where the game is played, right on the tracks of the red line. Yeah, that Tony La Russa asked for that change, and they granted it to him.
They made it for him.
Well, my sock summer. It is about time for you to do this second ad read. We'll see how whiskeyed up you are.
Let's see. I actually been calmed down. It's supposed to be hot as balls this weekend, folks, and into next week. I've heard shirts without sleeves are very cooling. Can you confirm that, Loaf?
Ooh, yes, I can. Absolutely.
Because we got them bad boys, and them called tank tops. Both men's and ladies. Maybe you don't want to show off all that arm, ladies. I got you. I got girls' t-shirts for you with the same 90s logo as you see on the screen. Mm-hmm. It's an extremely soft best use of the poot so far. All right, guys. Well, I got plenty of fucking shirts all over our fucking site. So if you want to come out and just come pick out, I got sizes from small, although probably not a lot of smalls, but a couple smalls, all the way up to 5XL or 6XL. So I got plenty of shit. So come on over, swing by FromThe108.com, click on the banner ad, and get to buying. You get a free sticker with every order. Even if you order a sticker, I will give you a free sticker with the sticker you fucking ordered. Okay, I don't know how long it's gonna happen. Okay, but it's gonna happen. Oh, that's a fancy hat. We have those hats. They will keep your their head warm. It allows them to breathe in the back with the mesh. It's very beautiful. And don't wait a second. And don't be the one with sleeve shirts this summer. Sun's out, guns out. Live like beef loaf. That's
beautiful.
That's it.
All right,
that was the star of the ad read right there.
The pooter. I did not fart right into my microphone that I am talking into.
I remember I brought the pooter to one of our live shows and I showed it to Josh Nelson. I'm like, yeah, what about this thing for the live show? And I used it and he's looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with you?
So, okay. Ann Farrington, who responded to one of our questions, says her rep emailed her and said it was a randomized system based on the seat category that you normally have. That doesn't sound like we're going to put you in the closest to what you have fucking part of the email. Like, listen, once again, are we shocked that Tony Russo is bad in PR? Because this is the PR that a fucking team is sending out. Like, I mean, is Tony like sometimes maybe asking for help and they're like, no, what you wrote down there is just fine. Don't worry about it.
Just go with it.
Just go with it. Don't worry about it. Because that does not sound like, hey, we're trying to get you as close as possible. Oh, we put you into a fucking lottery with other people that have outfield seats, not left or right. I mean, it doesn't. Oh, that's frustrating. That's frustrating to see. Maybe it's a big undertaking that I don't know about, but you know what? People have been thirsty to work for like a fucking year. Like, put them on some nights and weekends. Give them some overtime. Do whatever, but fucking make it happen. Christ almighty. Thank you for posting that, Ann. And if I have an embolism, it's your fault. So.
Speaking of making it happen, it's time for the Horniness Meter.
Oh, yes. Woo! Great graphic. I love that.
All right, Beef. This is your show. You tell us who we want to be horny about.
Absolutely. This is the Horniness Meter, but this is the bullpen edition. So we're going to go through some of our bullpen arms. We're going to talk about, and for those who are new to the show, we use the Horniness Meter as a gauge for how we think the player is performing. So we're going to tell you how horny we are for this player. And that's our metric to show you how well we think they're performing. And the first person up is Evan Marshall. And I would like my sock Summer to go first.
Now, in Horny Meters past, I talk about what type of porn I will need to use to get myself horny in the Horniness Meter. I have thrown that out of the window. That bit is done. Okay, it's over. Somebody else can use it on some other podcast. I will base my scale tonight to honor Billy on the hierarchy. I mean, it's going to be the hierarchy of the Catholic Church from Pope to Deacon. And I don't even need to explain it. Pope, top of very, very horny. Deacon, not so horny. So I'm glad Billy's in the chat so that we can go with that. Now, Evan Marshall, don't really make me all that horny. He's a deacon, 100% a deacon.
Oh man,
I don't even know what rank that is, but it sounds bad.
It's the bottom.
It sounds bad. I think that's what George Jefferson was on Amen.
Amen.
I know it's Sherman Helmsley. All right,
good pull.
Right one
there.
The
Sherman
deacon,
Helmsley.
I know.
The deacon can still go out there and get drunk and probably put it in women. So yeah, he's okay.
White Sox Sal in the comments. You guys are getting canceled tonight. Probably.
Likely.
True.
First off, I'm Catholic, so I can say this, so it don't matter.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right. Go for
That's the story you're sticking to. Treasy, how about you, Evan Marshall?
So to me, this is like one of those relationships where you tell all your buddies, like, oh man, this person's really awesome. They're just the best. I can't believe I found someone like this. And then they start doing all kinds of crazy shit. And you're just like, I don't want to eat my words. So I'm going to wait this out and hope that like it gets better. But this doesn't look good. The eye test is starting to fail.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of feeling you on that. My thoughts on Evan Marshall, my level of horniness is Marshall's one of those ones that looked all right in the past. You'd go down that road if you could, but they've had some problems since then. And you're just not as interested as you might have used to have been in the past. And so this time, instead of holding out hope, you just decide to pass and continue sipping on your drink. And you don't even go there. Not good for Evan Marshall, according to the fellas so far. Next up is Liam Hendriks. And I would like Treasy E to go first with Liam Hendriks on the Horniness Meter.
Yeah, so this is the way I'm thinking about this is like you're in day one of a very expensive 2-week vacation. And you got in an argument at the airport. And there's a little bit of anxiety of if you made a huge mistake right now. But everything should be fine. So just enjoy the fucking vacation.
Too many home runs for you so far. A couple too many home runs. Summer.
You look down at the phone and it's there's an X right in the second picture.
I'm kind of not feeling that as much. I feel like I'm a little bit more horny For the Liam Hendriks, I know he's had his ups and downs. He's given up some homers. He potentially lost the game for us. I'm still pretty horny though, but not Pope level horny. I'm
Timothy Maher is correct. We are getting excommunicated.
Excommunicated. I'm a little bit Archbishop horny. Like that is like when you're a priest and you keep moving up the ranks, and then you're the head priest of all the priests in the area, the one that's responsible for moving priests to other locations so you can stay one step ahead of the authorities. That's the guy. That's how horny I am. Archbishop horny.
The only
Boston Globe is writing a story about us right now.
I love this bit from My Sock Summer, but even though I grew up Catholic, I don't know the levels well enough to know kind of what's what.
Listen,
I honestly don't either. Like I assume an archbishop is below.
You shouldn't do it,
but maybe it's above. I don't know which. Like I don't know what.
Archbishop is above a regular bishop.
Okay.
I think bishop. I don't. You know what? I don't really know. I paid $3.56 to support Wikipedia, and that's where I got all of my information. So I think Archbishop was pretty close. But like when I get into the next couple, you're gonna know.
The Pope is the final boss. That's all I.
Yeah, Pope's final boss. Yeah.
Well, there's 100%. No question about that.
Yeah.
For me, Liam Hendriks. Liam Hendriks is like the woman that when you're far away, you're like, oh my God, incredible. This is unbelievable. And then as you get closer and you know a little bit more about him, there's an ugly side. There's an ugly side to this situation. And then the comp for me in this is Regina George in Mean Girls. All right. She's Miss Perfect when you're far away, but then as you get closer and you get to know her a little bit, there's a little bit of an ugly side there. I'm still in, but I'm aware of these things that could go wrong, these discretions.
Beef, I was hoping you would go Cheech picking up Chong at the beginning of I forget which one. I think it's Up in Smoke.
Up in Smoke, yeah.
he's all bent over, and then he turns around and it's fucking Cheech.
No, it's the inverse.
It's Chong.
Chong.
But
this
situation's the inverse, though.
It's the same, right? Because he's riding up, and he's all like he's turned from him. So he thinks it's something different.
Yeah.
And then Chong is like, "Thanks for stopping, man. You're the first person that stopped all day." He's like, "Oh man, get out of the car." And then they start talking about smoking weed, and then they get to where they got,
All right. Next up on the Horniness Meter is Jose Ruiz, and I'm dying to hear My Sock Summer's level of horniness for Jose Ruiz.
He's kind of miffy too, but again, he's been, from what I can remember, and I've drank a lot tonight. He has been somewhat solid when he's not overused. Like when he gets in there and does something real quick, he's pretty good. I'm gonna give him Cardinal. He's gonna be Cardinal. He's up there. He's not a bishop. He's getting there though. He's a Cardinal. So he's not a Blue Jay either. He's a Cardinal.
Is that the right? I don't think that's the right order. I feel like Cardinals are above.
Cardinal
Bishop.
might be above it. I might be a little bit more horny for him than I am for Liam Hendriks because Jose Ruiz hasn't lost a game for us. I don't really know, Treasy. Don't fuck up.
Don't question it. Don't question it.
I'll back up.
Treasy, how about you? How about your level of horniness for Jose Ruiz?
Yeah, so Jose Ruiz to me is that person you've hooked up with like 75 times. And now it's time to decide, am I just going to drive this into the ground, or am I going to actually admit that I'm committed to this relationship and see what I can get out of it? And I'm going to guess they're going to drive him into the ground. I think they're definitely Ethan Katz is just text him in the bullpen if he's up. You up?
All the time,
constantly.
Don't even pick up White Castle on the way over anymore. Just go straight in there.
I thought you were bringing food. Nope, just a stick.
Ethan Katz walks in, no shirt on already.
There's some Catholics up in the chat. Beer Garden Jim, Cardinals above Archbishop, and also Patrick said the same thing. So yeah.
All right,
you guys went to Catholic school and you don't know. So that's, I
do now.
I knew. I called you out.
I didn't know. Treasy knew. I didn't know.
Quit fucking up the bit, Treasy. Shut up.
You dick.
Hey, you come in an altar boy, man. I'm coming right back.
Were you an altar boy?
Fucking right. I was an altar boy.
Me too.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
How did that go?
And just for the record, the priest never played with our dong piece.
Okay.
No,
Not once.
but
I almost feel offended. It didn't happen.
well, yeah, I mean, like I wasn't that good looking, you know.
They're still watching it
But at the
You
same
hadn't come
time,
into your own yet. You hadn't come into your own.
at the same time, I will have to admit that the before it became the blood, I drank a lot of that church wine.
That church wine's fucking disgusting. My level of horniness for a Jose Ruiz.
Yeah.
Jose Ruiz, this is like someone's sister that's like a year or two younger than you. But when you're growing up, she was kind of butt ugly. And her hair and teeth were fucked up. But now she got braces and her hair's looking right. And you're like, oh, shit, man. And you're thinking, I hope no one else notices this shit because she's got it going on now. And I'm going to get in there. And that's how I feel Jose Ruiz is. Everyone was writing him off in the offseason. It's like, he sucks. That guy's no good. He shouldn't make the roster. And homeboy has come in here and he's been really good.
Have you seen Jose Ruiz's hair? He has like real big lamb chop sideburns, and then he has like kind of a slick back, a little slick back top, right?
Okay.
It reminds me of all the like Morrissey's real huge in Mexico, and I wonder if like he's like rockabilly. And I would love to see, like, I don't know if he has an Instagram, potentially he does. Maybe look that up and see if he's rockabilly, because the hairstyle definitely leads me to believe that. Plus, he's a little overweight, little 108 thick. So, like, maybe he's into that shit. So we'll see.
I'm feeling all of that, except like the jumps that you made. Like, he might like Morrissey
and Morrissey.
He likes rockabilly.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm talking about, because I do know people that enjoy like Morrissey down in Mexico usually dress like Morrissey.
I don't know if Jose Ruiz
like
is Mexican. He may be. I'm not sure. But I do know like that Mexicans love Morrissey. Like, I will, as a Mexican, I will get out there and say Beef is the only one out of us. He's the only Mexican that doesn't like Morrissey, but he does like Depeche Mode. And out of the Cure, Morrissey, and Depeche Mode, if you're Mexican, you have to like at least one.
Yeah. Now, if you lose your card if you don't like one.
The rules.
Yeah, you're the rules.
Yep. I like 2 out of 3. I'm not a big Morrissey guy, but
all your tacos turn to sand if you don't like one of them. It's in the Bible, my sock summer. You're very religious. You should.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Right. Next up on the Horniness Meter is Cody Heuer. And I would like for Teresa E to go first to let me know his level of horniness for Cody Heuer. So
this is one where you see someone after a little bit and you're like, that kind of wasn't great towards the end there. I was really not feeling it, but I'm trying to, I'm thinking about getting back here. And then you realize Cody was an early adopter of Fuck Beef Loaf 2021. And you know what? It's worth another shot. It's worth another shot. So I'm back in on Cody.
Unbelievable. Fuck you, Teresa. My sock summer. Your level of horniness on Cody. Oh, yeah.
Again, when this guy is not abused very like overly, like religiously, like back to back, Cody is decent. And like I said, I drink a lot. I think that every time I've seen him go in, he does pretty well. He seems to be all right. And like Treasy, him bagging on Beef Loaf is probably one of his best aspects. He's fucking Pope level horny. I'm Pope level horny for that guy.
Wow. You two assholes. I cannot believe this. For me, this is a tough one. Okay. This is one of those ones where it was great for a short while, while he was still following me for a day or two or whatever it was. But
probably
that they don't love you
hours.
anymore. Yeah. They don't love you anymore. Your love for them was unrequited. And the only reason they're actually considering you now is they're just down on their luck. Right? He's struggling right now. Things are not going well for him. They realize, oh, you know what? This poor fuck is still into me, even though I stink right now.
Beef.
When they're down, this is
did he say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you?
Effectively. It's like in Grey's Anatomy back in the day when Meredith, when she finally got down with George, and then when she's in the middle of doing it, she just laughs right in his face. That's Cody and me. And I think I might need to go in the corner and cry right now because I can't even deal with this.
Don't go too far because the next one's a banger.
It is. I mean, like Beef, to my earlier point, that's what it feels like, right? Like it's just like he's pretending that he has interest, but he just can't keep a straight face about it.
Yeah, no, it is no real interest unless no one else is interested. You're the last. You're the fail safe. You're the bottom. Whatever they call it.
That's different. That's very different.
Oh, I thought you wanted to say bottom bitch.
The next and last of our Horniness Meter contestants tonight is Jace Fry, which is an interesting one. Treasy, why don't you go first with Jace Fry?
So all I could think of is that scene in Weekend at Bernie's where that lady bangs Bernie Lomax, or the scene in Clerks in the bathroom.
Yes.
And you know what? I think Jace Fry's got a little bit left in the tank to give us, even though he's currently dead.
You're getting bodied for your Grey's Anatomy talk, by the way.
Am I?
And yeah. They're like, Grey's Anatomy, what the fuck is he talking about?
Dude, show was 20 years ago. So, I mean, some of you guys got to have seen it.
I've never even seen it. So, yeah.
Trees, have you ever seen Grey's Anatomy? Any of it?
I think I saw an episode or two.
See, that's the kind of shit. That's what you do when you get married when you're 22. Like, you watch Grey's Anatomy.
We did,
like,
yeah, we used to.
You're not out chasing poon or like setting up some electronica band.
It's sitting right next to me on the couch.
That's what you do.
It's the one from Old School, right? Is that who's in it?
What? Yes, it is. The one from Old School. She's
I know that much.
Good job.
Someone in the comments like, yeah, Grey's Anatomy can fuck off. Hey, take it easy, all right? That's a little too much, all right? Body me, don't body the show. Take it easy. Right.
Look, guys, Keith is here. He's got a broken heart over Cody Heuer, and you guys are fucking with him. What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
That's our audience. I
love our audience.
I love our fucking audience.
Broke his heart.
And they're just stepping on me best they can.
I can't even watch a romantic comedy or whatever it is.
My sock summer, give me a little Jace Fry horny.
Jace Fry, there's only one place to go. Jesus, because I hope he gets resurrected. Because I'm pretty sure Jace Fry is dead. So I hope somebody is bringing him back to life, and I will be eternally horny for Wally Money's like his mom. Wally Money loves Jace Fry's mom. I fucked that up.
Whoa.
Trying to work that into something, but Wally's was pretty horned up for his mom. So we need to get Jace back in, and resurrected.
That's my brother you're talking about.
That is your brother.
Your brother from another mother.
Yeah, I fucked it up. God damn it, Wally fucked something else up again. God damn
it. For me, Horniness Meter, Jace Fry, it's like a long distance relationship. It's like having a crush in another country, and then that first time you see them again, that's going to be some fucking wild shit right there. It's not even necessarily going to be that good, but it's going to be some ugly fun when Jace Fry comes back into the fold, because we need him.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love that. Like, the guy we're most confident in is Jace Fry.
Jace Fry. Guys that pitched in a year. He'll be fine.
If we walked into the season and we were like, all right, we're going to talk about the bullpen towards the end of May, and the guys that we're going to be excited about is Jace Fry coming off the 60-day IL and Jose Ruiz. I would assume we'd only won 4 games.
But this is like typical Sox fan behavior. It's an unknown. We're like, fuck yeah, we haven't seen him fuck up yet. Get him in there. Let's see what happens.
I think it's also the Super Bullpen has fucking sucked, and like I'll be the first to really say it loudly. They're fucking not good. Like
floundering.
They're okay. They're all right.
No, they're not. You know what? There's like. All of them are carrying like 5 ERAs. That's not.
I was going to say they're not okay when Michael Kopech's not part of them.
Yes,
that's for sure. He's been carrying a lot of the load down there for sure.
And we're an injury away from him being a starting pitcher.
Yes,
we're like a pulled hamstring away from him being a starting pitcher.
Don't fucking speak that shit into existence.
Oh, you know what,
my friend?
I'm the guy that could speak shit into existence. Yeah, Nomar Mazara hit so many home runs for us because I spoke it into existence.
That was stupid.
Remember the 74
that
home
would
runs?
Be beneficial.
Yeah.
Remember the 74 home runs Eloy hit this year? My Sox summer? Yeah, that Trees.
Who did I say?
Fucked it up there
who did I say last podcast was going to catch fire? Tony La Russa. What happened?
We caught fire.
He actually did catch fire in a different way.
Fire. If you predict the bad shit, okay?
That's what I just
that's what I'm saying. So you just said it, and it's gonna happen. You're like, oh, I'm the one that's supposed to. Yeah, you're the one that did it.
It's the reverse. It's the reverse.
I predict the good shit and bad shit happens. I'll predict the bad shit. Let's see what happens. Well, everyone's, maybe things will work out.
Okay. All right. I'm behind this now.
Guys, all right, let me ask a question. Do we need to call the cops? Because I see Carlos Rodriguez is up in the chat, and it says, speaking of wild, my parents won't turn on the AC. Fuck my luck. I think we should call the police on air right now and get his parents to turn on the goddamn AC, man, because it's not cool outside right now. It's steamy out there.
I got the AC on, and I keep thinking about turning my camera off so I could go put a fan on too.
That's a 108 thick lifestyle, right?
Are you wearing jeans?
No, I'm not. I'm wearing really short shorts my sock summer.
Are you really?
No, I'm wearing shorts, but they're not really short.
Oh, I thought maybe your brothers.
Beef. I was in a. Yeah, I don't have those shorts on. I was in a meeting today.
A lot of thigh meat.
Like, obviously I'm at home, but I had everything open, right? Like, oh, it's nice out. I have everything open. And like, meeting was an hour. And by the end of it, I looked like I was being interrogated. Just like, I was sweating like Ted Stryker at the end of Airplane.
You look like Newman in Basic Instinct.
I look like a fucking wax statue of myself.
It was nasty. Right. It was nice when you're outside and there was a breeze, but inside the breeze was not carrying.
Hey, the cold tub was cool tonight because it was.
I would hope so.
Yeah, man.
It's not cool,
it's cold, baby. It was cold. At night when you do the cold tub, that shit is hella cold. It's different than when we're hanging out by the hot tub. I mean, it's refreshing when we do it there, but like at nighttime, it's a different level.
Now I bet you guys are, you guys in the comments are probably thinking, it looks like they're winding down. They're talking some bullshit about this. No, we got another segment.
Not.
We got another segment for you.
Yes. Incredible graphic. Incredible.
That is not ACRO on the right.
And this is not this is not the My Socks Summer edition of This or That. This is the Beef Loaf edition of This or That. And Beef's gonna throw some shit at us and try and make us look dumb, from what I understand. So Beef, I will let you take it away. Enjoy making me and My Socks Summer sound like morons. I'm very much looking forward to it.
A little precursor to this, my version of This or That usually sucks way worse than My Socks Summer's version of that, because we all enjoy figuring out how much eBay things cost. This version is going to be a little quiz for my colleagues here, Treasy, My Socks Summer. We're going to figure out how much they really know about their 2021 White Sox. They've been watching all the games. We've been analyzing the team. We talk like we know what the fuck's going on. Let's see if they actually know what the fuck is going on with this team.
Probably not.
Here's the first question.
Spoiler alert.
Who has pitched more innings for the 2021 White Sox so far? Is it Lucas Giolito or Dallas Keuchel? Treasy, why don't you answer first?
I know this one because it's Dallas Keuchel's pitched the most innings on the team, right? Or from the starters? I
shan't answer. You got to pick one.
I'll say Dallas Keuchel.
My Sox Summer. How about you?
Yeah, it's Dallas, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not playing that. I'm gonna go with Dallas.
It is Dallas Keuchel, 50 and 2/3 innings. Giolito is second on the team, 49 and 2/3 innings. Yeah. But yeah, Dallas Keuchel does lead the team, Treasy. He has the most. After all that shit with the back and all that stuff, he's still been the biggest horse out of the whole group. He's had the most innings pitched so far. Very impressive.
This horse.
The next
pretty
question.
horny.
Much has been made of Yasmani Grandal's super ginormous walk percentage this season, which currently sits at 29.9% on off day today. Which of these White Sox hitters has the lowest walk percentage this season? I'm going to give you three, and I'm going to let My Sox Summer answer first. Is it Billy Hamilton, Tim Anderson, or Luis Garcia?
I'm going to go with Tim Anderson.
Treasy?
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen Luis Garcia walk. I don't think I have. I'm going to go with Lurie.
Go with Lurie. Okay. Billy Hamilton is 4.3%.
Mhm.
Tim Anderson, 4.2%.
Ooh.
Larry Garcia, 4.8%. So
Yeah!
Tim Anderson is correct. Nice
Fuck
job,
yeah!
White Sox number.
You know why I know this? Because
How'd you know that?
Josh tweeted the other day. He's like, and I don't think it was that long ago that Tim Anderson took his first walk of the season. So I was like, okay, that's what I kind of know this. So then I'm like, but that's really close. Billy was another one too that I was thinking, I don't know if I've ever seen Billy walk either. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity.
Billy Hamilton. Like who's the pitchers walking Billy Hamilton? It's not,
See, I feel like I've seen at least one Billy Hamilton walk because I've thought, like, why would you do that?
Who's allowing that shit right there? All right, the next question. Tim Anderson leads the White Sox with 7 stolen bases. Which of the following White Sox does not have a stolen base in 2021? And your choices are Jose Abreu, Adam Eaton, or Yoan Moncada. Treasy, you go first.
Ah, man. So have I seen Moncada? Because Moncada seems like the trap. Like that seems like a trap one where I'd be like, did he have a stolen base? And I can't remember him stealing a base. And I'm gonna go Moncada. I'm gonna go Moncada because it seems like you're trying to trap me. So I'm gonna go Moncada.
My Sox Summer, what do you think?
I don't know if Abreu's stolen a base either, but then I think yes, he did because he was in that game where he had to move around, and maybe that counts as a stolen base. Adam Eaton, I know, has stolen one, so I'm also gonna go with Moncada.
You guys are correct. Yoan Moncada has 0 stolen bases. Jose Abreu and Adam Eaton each have one stolen base on the season. Nice job there. The next question is an either or. It's which player has the highest? Yeah, it's this or that. Exactly.
Come on,
buddy. Which player has the highest WRC plus for the season? WRC plus means
runners in scoring possession.
No, it stands for weighted runs created plus. It's a metric based off of 100 being average, and then below 100 being below average, and above 100 being above average. Between these two hitters, so who's the better overall, I guess, hitter of these two so far this season by this metric? Nick Madrigal or Zach Collins? My Sox Summer, you go first.
Collins.
Treasy?
Weighted runs created plus. So that's probably. I'm gonna go Madrigal.
Nick Madrigal has a 97 weighted runs created plus, and Zach Collins has a 101.
Wow.
Weighted runs created plus. So Zach Collins has been slightly better. Obviously, many less plate appearances for a Zach Collins than Madrigal.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. The White Sox have been intentionally walked twice this season. Who are the 2 hitters to receive those intentional walks? So you only need to give me one of the hitters that got an intentional walk during the year. Treasy, you go first.
Who's been intentional? Oh, okay.
There's been 2 White Sox hitters that have been 2 of them. So you just got to give me one of them to get the answer correct.
I'm trying to remember it because I don't think it's going to be like that great of a hitter. I feel like it was like someone to just put on base because of like there was second and third. I will say I'm going to try and go with someone a little bit lower in the lineup. I will say Luis Robert got intentional walked before he got hurt.
My Sox Summer, how about you?
Yerman Mercedes.
The 2 people that have been intentionally walked for the White Sox this year are Tim Anderson and Yerman Mercedes. My Sox Summer, nice job.
Don't you remember everyone going ape shit because Tony made some fucking move and then they're like, he took the game out of Yerman's hands. Like, he fucked it up. Oh! And I remember that. So yeah. I just whooped your ass, Treasy.
The scenario you just spoke of, I don't feel like you actually saw happen because, like, how would Tony? He didn't walk him.
He did something. I don't remember what he did, but he took the bat out of Yerman's hands. Was the response on the Twitter, and then like he got walked. Like somehow a guy ended up on. I don't know what it was.
The other team would have. Never mind. All right.
Okay. Next question.
There was something that he did.
The White Sox have thrown 3 shutouts this.
Yeah.
Okay. The White Sox have thrown 3 shutouts this season. One was a 7-inning variety. They were thrown by Dylan Cease versus Detroit, Lance Lynn versus Kansas City, and Carlos Rodon versus Cleveland. A very memorable one for the 3 of us. Which had the highest game score, which is a simplistic measure created by Bill James to judge the best pitching performance overall. So who had the highest game score out of these three guys? Dylan Cease, Lance Lynn, Carlos Rodon, Treasy, you're first.
I mean, you're setting me up because it obviously can't be Carlos Rodon. Otherwise, you wouldn't ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. I'm going to go Carlos Rodon because it's a fucking no-hitter. Like, I don't care.
My sock summer.
Lance Lynn.
Dylan Cease had an 80 game score. Lance Lynn had an 88 game score, and Carlos Rodon had a 94 game score. Good job, Treasy. Okay. It was the no-hitter. Yes, the no-hitter was the best pitch game out of all of these. According
to double trick us. You tried to
I did. I went in the double reverse on you guys there.
You tried to switch the iocane powder.
but then
I'm immune to it. So
you are. You are.
It's like there's some nerd thing going on that I wasn't aware of. And it's like, oh, well, he had more runners and blah, blah, blah. So that was a harder game.
You got tricked on that one. You didn't get tricked on some of the other ones, but that one tricked you.
See, my sock summer, you know where my mind went was like Cleveland, everyone hits Cleveland. So maybe they weren't, maybe it's not worth as much,
They suck so bad, so it's not worth as much. It's a good call. All right, the last question, very last one. We're going to dip back into our reliever pool here. Which of these two relievers has the better/higher ERA plus in 2021? So ERA plus is something similar to weighted runs created plus, where above 100 is really good and below 100 is less good. The two relievers are Jose Ruiz or Aaron Bummer. My sock summer, who's having a better season by ERA plus?
I'm going to go with Jose Ruiz.
Treasy.
This is tough because
Bummer just got hammered too.
Yeah, the Bummer just gave up some runs. Like that's the thing I'm thinking because like he's so good with the ground balls though. Like so you would think that like I'm gonna go Ruiz. I'm gonna guess that he's edging him out by a little bit.
You guys both nailed it. Jose Ruiz, ERA plus 156. Aaron Bummer 153. Both very good.
Oh,
both having a very nice season. But Jose Ruiz edging him out by a little tiny bit there.
A lot of edging going on.
If you were Beef, if you were going to tell me, if you would have made us guess in a range where they both were, I would not have hit.
Very tight.
Like
that's it for this and that. Nice job, guys. So you guys know the team better than I thought.
If you asked me where Michael Kopech's is, I'd be like, it's $1 billion. And I'm sure that's wrong.
It's way the fuck up there.
Well, I do good educated guessing. That's what I'm going to say. I'm really good at educated guesses.
You guys know this team has been good, and who's been good on this team.
That's how I got through college.
Well, I mean, it's been fun to watch, and I mean, I think that what's helped, Beef. We're actually at the games.
We're actually there. We're physically there. Yes, that's
soon.
True.
Soon we will be back in our seats, but not too soon.
Maybe.
Unless Saturday goes very well. We'll see how Saturday goes.
Yeah, 1 o'clock. Just never know.
I will be on the computer trying to do my thing. In mid-game trying to get some tickets. So once again, you will see me absent from Twitter for like hours. All right.
Yes.
Beef, you know what I'm thinking right now? Man, we had time for that other segment, but you know what?
That would have been an extra hour, though, I think.
We fucked up, but hey, look, a short one for everyone tonight, only 90 minutes, Some guys say they give you an hour and a half. I know that's usually not good enough, but, that's all we got tonight. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, man. We really appreciate it. Enjoy your night, and we'll see you at the park very soon. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Peace.